Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Baltimore Ravens. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Set, ready. Right here, right here.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Bryant. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Bryant, blitz coming, and down he goes. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack. Back to throw. Bryant. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Here's the Raiders punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Come on, set. Hey, go. Check 50, check 50.
They'll throw on 1st down with Taylor. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Here we go, D. Here I come. Set.
On 2nd down, it's Ross. Got some room at the 30. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. John Ross his 21st touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. Now a hit and a loose football. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secure. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I'm coming after you. Check. Hey, get him.
Jackson from the shotgun. Flush to his right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time here with Brown. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. Well, he's going to go for it all. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
On 1st down, Richard, he's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Off the play fake, Bryant. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs the defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just reach out and grab him, and that's the result there, a pass interference call.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. In on the stop, the safety, Troy Apke. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
To throw on second down, Bryant. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
We got this. At their own 35-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. These two teams all tied after 1.
7-7.
On second down now, it's Davis. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. It's complete to Graham. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 21 yards there on 3rd down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line.
Hey, check motion, man. Put your hands.
From the gun, Jackson sliding out of the pocket. Jones has it. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker now to add the point after. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
On second down, Richard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Don't be scared of it. Go.
Richard. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here's 2nd and 8. Got a man. It's Brown. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 25 yards that time. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. Can recapture the lead if they... And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Keep it up, guys.
They'll run on first down. It's Ross. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, acting these traps. Let's go. 36.
Play action. It's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He'll try and run it. He finds an opening past the 40. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Check, cross, cross. Put it two, check, cover. Put it two, check, cover. Go.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson, escaping the pressure right. Looking downfield for... And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two. Here's Jackson operating from the gun. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Off play action. Bryant. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bryant. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one.
Check 52. Check mark 16. Check mark 16.
Throwing on third and long. Bryant, he's going to look deep for Moore. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Let's go. Interception, baby. Let's go.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 2-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 30, past the 20, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Now it's Jackson, and it's going to be caught. Not sure why they went for 2, but they do get it. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Their own 27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Forced out to his left, and he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
On the ground with Shard. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Bryant, he's going deep for Brown. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they gave up the pick six. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Willis able to record his 5th sack of the season. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Back to throw. Bryant, he's going deep for Brown. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
5 down. Stand up in.
Looking to throw. Bryant, pass incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Bryant. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. You got to give strong consideration for MVP talk.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down. On 1st down, it's Taylor. Now they go screen. It's complete. He got 29 yards that time.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Jackson now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a 1st down. Now Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. Flushed out right. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check, and they're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
Alert 3, alert 3. Off. Yeah.
Now Jackson on first down. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Max Crosby in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Now
it's Taylor. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. They're going to keep it on the ground. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw forward. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Willis in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun, Bryant. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 29. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Looking to throw on second down. Bryant, he's going to go for a big play down. And now here is another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now left side on the swing pass. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Check. Switch. Hayward. Hey, 50, Mike, 50. Come on, D. Hey, Mike's 50. It's a contest, Mike.
Jackson, eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Orbit. Mike, 50.
Third and 2. Here's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Raven first down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Set, ready. Kneel. Go to base. No chance. Check 24. Go. Someone up. Pause. 52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. And it's one.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Flush to his right. This one caught by Isabella. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Jackson on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Go. Mike 16.
2nd and 4. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 39. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
First down at the 20-yard line.
Set, hut, time to end it. 57, come on. Hut, 6, 4, wait. Check the backer, check the backer. Go, go. 57, come on.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Give me some. Give me some. Here we go, here we go.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Rolling to his right. He's going to take off. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Tucker now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything...
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. Bryant. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Las Vegas sending out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, things get even uglier now as they fall to 2-13. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.